They said the microphones picked up screams, thousands of them, agonizing wails rising from 12 kilometers beneath the earth. Some swore they heard suffering souls. Others said it was the gateway to hell itself. But behind these haunting recordings lies one of the most ambitious scientific projects ever attempted, and one of the most persistent legends on the internet. Tonight, we descend into the story of the Kola Superdeep Borehole, what scientists actually discovered there, and the truth behind the infamous sound from hell. Deep in western Russia, near the icy expanse bordering Finland, lies the forgotten ruin of a colossal scientific dream. Metal carcasses, abandoned laboratories, and at the center of it all, a small rusted disc welded shut to the ground. It looks insignificant, until you learn that beneath it plunges the deepest hole humans have ever drilled, 12,262 meters. A world record that still stands. This is the Kola Superdeep Borehole, a Soviet research project that began on May 24, 1970. And contrary to online legends, this had nothing to do with oil. Its purpose was far more ambitious. Geologists had chosen the Kola Peninsula for a simple but powerful reason. The rocks there are among the oldest exposed on Earth, over 2 billion years old. In most places, such ancient rocks are buried under 10 to 20 kilometers of younger sediment. But here, they sit much closer to the surface. This meant scientists had a rare opportunity to drill directly into Earth's primordial crust and learn what lies beneath our feet, something humans understand far less than the surface of Mars. The original goal? A depth of 15,000 meters. What followed was a 24-year marathon of drilling, innovation, failure, discovery, and eventually, the birth of a terrifying myth. The first 7 kilometers were drilled using equipment similar to that used for oil exploration. Giant rotating drill strings made from hundreds of segments of steel pipe. But beyond that depth, new equipment had to be invented, the Uralmash 15,000, a custom-designed system where only the drill bit rotated, powered by machinery at the bottom of the hole. Drilling advanced slowly, painfully slowly. They weren't just grinding rock, they were collecting cores, long cylinders of pristine stone that tell the geological history of Earth. In total, Kola scientists extracted 3,700 meters of cores, an amount unheard of in any other single well. By 1979, they reached 9,583 meters. By 1983, they broke 12,000 meters, only for the drill string to jam, forcing them to abandon 5-kilometer pipe and start again from higher up. And then came the biggest problem of all: heat. Deadly, crushing heat. At 12 kilometers, scientists expected 100 Celsius degrees. Instead, they found almost 180 Celsius degrees. Too hot for the drill bits, too hot for the lubricants, too hot even for the steel pipes. The rocks behaved like plastic, squeezing shut behind the drill. The Earth itself resisted their intrusion. By 1991, having reached 12,262 meters, the project was halted. By 1995, after the collapse of the Soviet Union, the site was abandoned entirely. But the story does not end here, because in the early 90s the legend began. As the site was shutting down, a supposed statement from a man named Dr. Azakov began circulating. According to this tale, scientists had lowered microphones and sensors into the borehole to study tectonic movement. But instead of shifting plates, they allegedly heard screams, cries, unmistakable sounds of agony. The church seized on the story, newspapers repeated it, and by 1996 an audio file titled "The Sounds from Hell" began spreading across the internet, the one many still hear today. The legend claimed these were the cries of the damned at 14,000 meters, that the Soviets had found the gateway to hell, that they abandoned the project in fear. But none of this is true. Let's separate myth from reality. The real discoveries at Kola were extraordinary, just not supernatural. Water in the crust? Scientists found water at depths they thought impossible, water that had formed chemically inside rock crystals. Microscopic fossils, 24 species of ancient plankton fossils were found from 6 to 7 kilometers deep, preserved by extreme pressure and temperature. Temperatures far higher than predicted, which reshaped models of Earth's thermal gradient, a detailed geological record providing insight into the planet's earliest crust. But nowhere did any scientific report claim screams, voices, or hell. The legend was built on misinterpretation, exaggeration, and eventually, outright fabrication. The infamous audio that began circulating in 1996, the one still used in YouTube videos and urban legends, is not from the Kola borehole. It is not a field recording. It is not scientific data. It is not paranormal evidence. In fact, when analyzed, the hell audio matches perfectly with a commercial sound effects album, BBC Sound Effects number 21, More Death and Horror specifically, the track called People in Panic. At second 39, the waveform is identical. Same screams, same background, same sonic texture. Someone simply layered effects, filtered the sound, and claimed it came from Kola. And the legend snowballed. Even the supposed Dr. Azakoth has no traceable scientific background. He appears nowhere in official Soviet documentation, drilling reports, or geological publications. The myth is exactly that, a myth. Why did so many believe it? Because mystery is powerful. Because the church found it useful. Because the internet loves fear. And because people were already fascinated by what lies beneath us. A world still 99% unknown. But the truth of the Kola superdeep borehole is far more impressive than any horror story. Humanity tried to cut through the planet itself and reach the limits of physics, engineering, and endurance. Drills melted, rocks squeezed shut, temperatures soared, and after 24 years, science met the brute force of the earth and had to surrender. No demons, no hell, just the extreme, unforgiving reality of our planet. So what truly lies beneath the crust? What sounds does the earth make at 12 kilometers? What secrets remain locked away in the dark? We may never know. The Kola project ended in silence, not screams. But the story it inspired still echoes across the internet, a reminder of how our deepest fears often drown out our greatest scientific achievements. If you want humanity to continue exploring the unknown, not only in space but beneath our feet, then keep watching, keep questioning, and keep digging for the truth. Thank you for watching, folks. Don't forget to subscribe to support us. Stay aware.